How many of you are familiar with the jackfruit, or kos as we call it? It really is a superfood, has cancer-fighting properties, an abundance of potassium, maintains healthy blood pressure levels, and the ripe fruit is a great low-carb alternative for those with diabetes even, because the fiber controls sugar levels, and jack seeds have protein and energy. Welcome to the last program in January of Prime Group Kaleidoscope with me, Savithri Rodrigo. thuru.lk is a savings account designed to partner the aspirations of the Sri Lankan woman. Here's a little more.
Advising me on strategies for success, like a mentor.
Supporting me every step of the way, like a sister.
DFCC Aloka is a financial solution designed to empower females.
Kaleidoscope with Savithri Rodrigo is on multiple digital channels. Do subscribe or follow us. Our program of Positive, Daring, Different today spotlights a professor who is a bodybuilding champ, besides a look at logistics, Sri Lanka's trash, and an appeal from Trinity College, plus lots more, of course.
Welcome to 88 Residence Katadua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence Prime Group.
Welcome to Snapshot. Let's start with a look at export earnings. Sri Lanka's electrical and electronic exports recorded a 30% increase to $422 million in 2021, and fish export earnings grew 162% to $100 million year-on-year. And earnings from textiles and garments were up by 21.9% to $2.94 billion in the first 7 months of 2021. The pandemic has inflicted economic losses of $3.6 trillion or 7.7% of the combined GDP of 8 South Asian countries, including Sri Lanka. Prime Group launches its signature lands portfolio with Eleanor in Battaramulla. Bitcoin value tumbles by half since record highs in November. Fellow Argentinian soccer fan Pope Francis made football superstar Lionel Messi's day when he gifted him a signed shirt. The world bought more champagne than ever before. A record 180 million bottles of bubbly were sold for a record $6.2 billion in 2021. This is our news capsule. Welcome back. The Colombo Stock Exchange began trading with a revised all-share price index calculation methodology this week, from full market capitalization weighting to public float adjusted market capitalization. When the market closed on Thursday, the all-share price index fell by 3.7%, while the average daily turnover was at 8.4 billion rupees. WTI oil rose to 7-year highs, around $87 per barrel, due to rising political tensions between Russia and Ukraine, adding to concerns about further disruption. This week, gold prices moved down to $1,812 per ounce levels as the US dollar strengthened and the Federal Reserve signaled interest rate hikes starting in March. There's an estimated $4.6 trillion of revenue at stake in the global logistics industry, so adapting and changing is the name of the game. The Acorn Group and ASL Logistics decided to do just that with a strategic partnership, launching Fortis Logistics International, a fully licensed logistics provider spanning multifaceted industries serving sea, air and land. I asked Managing Director Ashan Fernando what USPs Fortis has to differentiate itself from the phrase total logistics provider.
The flexibility, the depth of the knowledge and freight forwarding and tourism, travel, aviation and business management is the key. This is why I say that the combined synergy of both Acorn and ASL Logistics is very unique and powerful. We felt this combination will give us a unique advantage in terms of serving our customers and also bring creativity and new products to the marketplace. We firmly believe logistics and freight forwarding industry is a huge market with a huge potential in short, mid to long term. And so Sri Lanka is naturally placed as a strategic location for travel and logistics.
Hasanka Paduka and Heminda Jayavira began doing some dirty work. They began collecting trash in their backyard, sorting it and sending it for recycling. That was the start of Zero Trash. 2 years later, they have collected over 17,100 kilograms of mixed plastic, over 5,000 kilograms of mixed glass, and 1,300 kilograms of mixed metal. Here's what Hasanka said when I asked him how he started Zero Trash.
Before Zero Trash, I was planting trees from Thuru. So one day I was planting trees at one of the largest dump yard in Sri Lanka, Karadiyana. So I saw the amount of mixed trash. So I thought I need to put my hands and make it dirty and collect more plastic to solve the plastic problem.
So Hasanka, what actually happens to your trash?
So the things I collect, I bring it all those into my collection center at Borlasgama, Zero Trash Collection Center. And then we sort those items based on the type, based on the color, and then remove the liquid trash and then make sure those are good to recycle through our recyclers network.
What plans for Zero Trash?
Zero Trash is a clean tech startup. We started as a bootstrap method. So I want to scale it. So I want to do another 24 collection centers around the Sri Lanka to battle against plastic.
NASA says the recent eruption of the Hunga Tonga volcano released an equivalent of 100 times of mechanical energy compared to Hiroshima, about 4 to 18 megatons of TNT. And the resulting oil spill saw Peruvians lining up to sacrifice their locks and even their pets' hair to create nets in order to save birds and animals caught up in the oil spill.
Welcome to 88 Residence Kathadua. Invest just 3 million and own your dream home. Pay 25% in 2.5 years, 55% at the handover with zero interest. Prices starting from 14.5 million. 0710 888 444. 88 Residence Prime Group.
Next up, breaking stereotypes is a professor who is the Central Province female bodybuilding champ.
Making all your new goals in life a reality is why our strength is your strength. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
For centuries, women's bodies have been stereotyped, and even in this liberated age, very little has changed. Professor Dinishika Vitanage is a senior lecturer in psychology at the ICBT campus in Kandy, with an academic area that covers psychology, criminology, political science and social responsibility. She is also the current women's physique champion of the Central Province. And academic and bodybuilding are polar opposites. But Dinishika decided to take the plunge when her husband, a professional bodybuilder and trainer himself, inspired her to give it a go. So I caught up with her in Kandy, where she lives, for a quick chat. Welcome, Dinishika. You truly are an inspiration. But tell me this, how do people perceive you and your bodybuilding, given that you're also an academic? And what about your students, especially your female ones?
I think many people would perceive me as an academic, not as a bodybuilder, because there's a tone of approval in their voice when I mention myself as an academic. But when I mention that I do bodybuilding, they have many questions and comments to give, and some of those comments are not very positive. So I would say people would like to perceive me as an academic than being a bodybuilder. And I get a lot of support from my female students. They've started going to gyms. They text me saying I inspire them. So that's a positive, I think I have set a positive example for my female students to think about their health and working out.
When you started bodybuilding, did you ever realize how hard it's going to be fending off stereotypes for one, and how did you handle that?
When I started bodybuilding, I did not realize it's going to be this hard, especially being on a strict diet, close to competitions. And I started working out as a hobby. I did not think of competing. But when I started seeing results from working out, I realized, well, I can be on stage and become a competitive female bodybuilder in Sri Lanka. And at the same time, it addresses the stereotypical thinking of people here in our society, because when I started getting ready for competitions, I don't think people took that serious. Of course, my friends knew. I got support from my family, my husband, who's my coach. But other than that, many people did not think I would win, because I think the Sri Lankan society is not exposed to female bodybuilding. And just as any other sport, it's okay for women to build muscle, lift heavy weights, and compete on stage.
What has been most challenging in your bodybuilding career?
The most challenging thing for me is being on a diet, because I'm a lecturer. I sometimes start classes at 8:30 in the morning and I would work till late. So it's hard for me to be on a consistent meal plan. I have a strict workout schedule that I would stick to that every single day. So I would say that sticking to a schedule with my lectures and other research work I do, it's sort of challenging for me to work out, get ready for competitions, and do all the work. But I have been doing it for 2 years, and I think I managed it well.
So being an academic, you are a role model. If you had a message to give parents and specifically young women about breaking stereotypes, what would you say?
I always encourage my students, or anyone, any young female, to go for their dreams. And I think when it comes to parenting, parents should try to listen to their children, their dreams, their aspirations, to give them support. And also to encourage our female children, our young girls and women to go for their dreams, to step out of that box, go over the boundaries and attain their goals, because we are living in the 21st century. So I believe that women can do anything that they put their mind into.
Dinishika, keep doing what you do. You stepped out of your comfort zone to create a perfect combo of bodybuilding and academics. Now, that's inspiring. For those who have been to the Trinity College Chapel in Kandy, these murals by David Painter are up among the best. But now, those murals need your help. Here's why. Known as the chapel without walls and built on 54 individually carved granite pillars, replete with wooden and rock carvings done by Indian and Sri Lankan artisans, the foundation stone of the Trinity College Chapel, though laid in 1922, took 50 years to complete. One of Sri Lanka's most celebrated artists, David Painter, who is also an old boy of Trinity College, undertook a rather revolutionary project to portray biblical stories in a Sri Lankan setting. Each mural is unusual. In fact, Christ looks very Sri Lankan, short-haired and clean-shaven. Now here's where you come in. The murals are being restored. The earliest was painted in 1928 and then 1933, 1957 and 1965. Trinity College is in urgent need of pre-1990 color photographs of these murals. Any digital or scanned images would be most useful. Please look through your archives, because preserving the amazing works of our artists is vital, and more so because these narrate stories that must be kept alive. Have a super week. We dedicate our Kaleidoscope takeaway to David Painter. Art is not what you see, but what you make others see.